Hey, this is Nick Danbury from Danbury Guerin Real Estate Advisors. I'm here with Beth and Jarrod. I wanted to talk with them about their adventure to Maine and their journey to adopt. So thanks so much, guys, for doing this.
Thanks for coming over.
Yeah, definitely. So tell me a little bit about yourselves and how you met and your adventure to Maine, or your travels to Maine, I guess.
Yeah, how we met is usually my story that I like to tell. So we actually met at a wedding. Mm-hmm. Some good friends of both of ours were the couple that was getting married. Beth and I had never met. Mm-hmm. They had told us that we both asked, are there any single people at this wedding? And both of them independently, her friend who she was in the wedding said, no, there's no really single guys for you. So, we were at the wedding. Beth was in it. I was sitting in the back of the church, just kind of, slumming it with my college friends.
Sure.
And I thought, yeah, they told me no, but I'm not going to let that stop me.
Of course.
And so Beth was the first bridesmaid to walk down the aisle, and I was just like, no. And I actually looked to a friend sitting next to me, and I was like, I don't need to say it. I said, dips. I get to dance with her. The first song we danced to was Shake It Off. And yeah, and then history. The rest is history. So we met and dated. We got married a little barely over a year and a half later.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And at that point in time, I had already moved to Maine.
Oh wow.
And so I was out here. Went back to Minnesota, got married, and then we drove out 2 days later.
Yeah.
And we've been in Maine.
Because you came for residency.
Yeah, I came for residency.
Where did you do your residency?
I did residency here at Maine Met.
Okay.
So that was kind of what actually initially brought us to Maine. Mm-hmm. Was you open the little envelope and it tells you where you have to go when you're done with medical school, and so ended up here, and yeah, we both thought we were gonna head back to the Midwest, but fell in love with Maine.
That's great. So you did your residency here in what I guess what specialty?
I did combined specialties. So I'm board certified in both adult internal medicine as well as pediatrics.
Okay.
After residency, which was 4 years, I did an additional fellowship in sports medicine. So that was another year.
Okay.
So yeah.
And Beth, you're a teacher?
Yep. I teach elementary math, so to kindergarten through fourth graders, just helping kids, especially who struggle with math.
Yeah, well, that's fun. So tell me about the community. I mean, so we met through a mutual friend. So tell me more about your community and your lives and what that looks like.
Yeah, so after Jarrod finished residency, that's one of the reasons we decided to stay in Maine, because even though we're far from our family, we love many things about Maine, and we really did grow a community, especially through our church. That was a huge part of it for us. We just feel really supported by our church, and it's just a really fun, organic place to be, lots of support. And we have other friends outside of our church as well, especially that Jarrod did residency with. They've also stayed in Maine and have become good friends of ours.
Very supportive. And we have, and family actually comes out a few times a year.
Yeah, they've grown to love Maine too, and have things they like to do here with us. Yeah.
So what would you say some benefits are to raising a family in Maine?
Well, they say it's the way life should be, right?
That's right.
Definitely the ocean. I mean, watching kids play on the beach, and Jarrod learned to sail, and so we go out sailing, which is like, imagine our child doing sailing lessons at Sail Maine, and then we loved hiking. It's so easy to have access to mountains, ocean,
lakes.
Still. Yeah.
So it's as much as Maine in some ways feels like it's at the end of the country. It's kind
just
of like
the beginning.
Yeah.
So tell me a bit about, you guys came here and you want to grow your family, so you've chosen to adopt. What does that journey look like?
Well, both of us, even before we met, we wanted kids. It was always something super important to us. Family, so important to both of us. We have lots of nieces and nephews now. They just keep coming.
Sure.
We love them so much, and we've always both just loved kids too.
Sure.
And before we got married, we talked about how we would want to start a family eventually, and that was a priority, a goal we both had. And then when we decided we felt like it was time, then it just kind of didn't happen for us. We went through a couple years of infertility, and we were still hopeful. And adoption had been something we also talked about even before talking about having biological kids.
Yeah, kind of as in addition to just part of family. Both of us have adopted cousins, and kind of other people, close friends who have either adopted or are adopted themselves, and so
it's actually kind of awesome. The couple that we met at their wedding, they're also doing adoption. It's just and we meet more and more people. Really close family friend of mine has an amazing adoption story. Yeah, we just kind of prayed about it a lot and then felt like that was the next step for us.
Yeah.
So we have an agency that we're working with. They're wonderful, so supportive to us. They're also really amazing for expectant mothers. They have someone that's just solely there to support the expectant mothers. So it's a really wonderful agency. We've learned a ton from them.
Yeah, that was we wanted to have an agency that was a Christian agency, but also that was very cognizant of the kind of the emotional toll that adoption can take on both sides of the family.
And the whole triad picture of adoption.
Yeah, so the triad is, it's the adopted child, the expectant, mother, and then afterwards
family.
the birth mother, kind of the wording changes there, and then the adoptive family. And so just an agency that kind of helped to support the entire process, not just kind of like, the adoption's done, see you later.
And just facilitate that. And we also have become advocates for open adoption through all our research and with our agency. And we know that's a wide variety, and we're open to, continuing relationship with. We hope to continue some relationship of what the expectant mother or birth mother will be comfortable with down the road. Yeah.
Can you explain open adoption a little bit?
Yeah, so just especially for the child, we just feel like it's really important for them to be able to find out where they're from or more about their family, their heritage, their genetics, and just like where they came from.
I mean, I think, open adoption, it was initially very daunting. We've kind of come to see it as really an opportunity that can have hopefully the best outcome.
Right. And just for more people to love the child, them to know how loved they really are by not just us and our immediate family, but their whole family,
their whole story.
And their whole support
have it be
system.
Part of their story.
So what I'm hearing you say is whether the birth mother would want an open adoption or would not, you would work within those parameters.
Exactly.
So what kind of family values would you hope to be able to, pass on to the next generation? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Both of us, our faith is really important to us. So certainly, being people of belief who, are constantly trying to walk and follow Jesus and what that really looks like on a personal level, not just saying something, but acting in another way, but acting because you get to, do kind things for people, being kind, being honest, continuing to be a person that can be trustworthy and contribute to society in a positive way. Right. It would be our hope, I think.
Jared first said this, and it just stuck with me when we were talking about why we want to have children at all, and just like sharing adventure and curiosity and just like wonder, like the things you think about being a child, like to give those opportunities and let them. That's why Maine's kind of like that, like a land of wonder, and like letting them see things and explore and learn how to bike and, having those experiences.
Adoption now is, I think, very different even than probably 5-10 years ago, especially with social media. And so that was something that we learned a lot about. We have a Facebook page, and then using that Facebook page to kind of share our story, share a little bit about our kind of day-to-day lives. When we go on an adventure, we take pictures, and taking that and how not just sharing our story, but then also kind of asking other people to say like, hey, maybe you could share our story. And being able to get the word out.
It's basically like 50% of adoptions are connected through word of mouth or social media somehow now. So not only just through the inventory of our agency, but just through you reaching out to your friend, and then they happen to hear about this person. It's just that connection. And so the more likes we get on Facebook just kind of shares, which is kind of crazy, but to think about like an adoption being a social media push, but it's really more of sharing our story and getting it to more and more people that we may be connected to that we didn't even realize.
So let me ask you, your agency, where can they cover the whole United States?
Yep. They can facilitate an adoption from anywhere in the U.S.
So really, we're in Maine, but somebody could be in California,
exactly,
Texas, wherever.
So
how can people help?
I think probably the biggest thing is just sharing. sharing our story,
sharing our story, liking our posts, sharing our posts, and just praying for us and supporting us through our journey.
Yeah. I mean, I think that just, as many people as we could have, I mean, they say it takes a village to raise a kid, right? And I think we've kind of found it's like, well, it kind of takes a village to adopt one too.
That's right.
And, and so as much help as we could have, either sharing our posts or even just like kind of coming alongside us and saying, hey, we're here to support you.
And we have like pass along cards, like little business cards that we can give out to people to send to people that can leave anywhere and everywhere, just in hopes of connecting with an expectant mother.
Yeah, like if somebody is considering adoption, if that's something that they are considering and they come across a story that, oh wow, this really fits and I think that this could work for me. They can kind of go down that avenue, whereas before they wouldn't have even known about it.
Right. All I want to say is, if you know anybody who's thinking about adoption, I can't say enough about Maine, and this is a fabulous place to grow up. I am a product of it. I lived it. I loved it. I had the opportunity to leave, but I was like, I'm staying here and I'm raising my family here. There is no better place to raise a kid, and yes, I'm a little biased, but I promise you there's no better place to raise a child here. And I've known Beth and Jarrod now for just over a year. And they've become fast friends. They've met my family. They've ate dinner around my kitchen table, and I just can't say enough about these people. And the values that they will pass on to the next generation are just phenomenal. If you know anybody, please share this video. Please like this video, like their posts, spread the love, and let's help them. I'll see you guys next week. Thanks so much.